The game of golf. It has given people of all backgrounds and ages great joy and enduring memories. Clean, crisp drives. The perfect approach shot, all capped off with a birdie putt. An adventure on which we love to embark with friends and family. We're so focused on our next shot that's easy to forget. Someone had to use their imagination to sculpt acres of open land into a great green stage filled with fairways, greens, and yes, hazards. There are more than 34,000 golf courses around the world, over 15,000 in the U.S. alone. Over the past century, one name has become synonymous with golf course architecture: Robert Trent Jones. 3 generations, hailing from central New York, have influenced over 700 golf courses in 40 countries on 6 continents. The story begins 90 years ago with Robert Trent Jones Sr.
My dad grew up in East Rochester. He was a caddy, worked for Walter Hagen in the late 1920s and 30s, and he became the first pro here. He was a golf professional. He was a good player, and worked at Sodus Bay, where he met Mr. Beresford, who encouraged him to pursue his chosen career to be a golf designer, not just a golf player. So this is where he got his start, right here at Sodus Bay.
In June of 2014, Peter Brown, a longtime Sodus Bay Heights member, invited Robert Trent Jones' son, Robert Trent Jones Jr., to the golf course to reestablish the relationship between the Jones family and Sodus Bay.
We went around the course and analyzed it as a golf architect would and gave some suggestions. But then when we got to the 9th hole, I said, wow, this doesn't feel at all like a Robert Trent Jones design, meaning my dad, and it's out of character. And I said, the players like this? And they said, no, nobody likes this hole. So I said, well, let me see if I can help you get it into the Jones Sr. character. And I came in here and I asked for a pencil and paper, and I sketched out a green. It took me about an hour to think it through. And then we went out and looked at it on the site, and voila, they said, yeah, that looks pretty good.
To have him actually walk across the green and say, wow, this isn't fair, this isn't how it should be, and to offer to redesign, rebuild, restructure was a pretty special thing.
1 year later, on May 16, 2015, Robert Trent Jones Jr. returned to Sodus Bay Heights as the honored guest at the 6th annual Robert Trent Jones Reserve Cup.
I really want to appreciate everybody for coming out today, not only for this dedication ceremony, but also for a real great cause, because you as members of Sodus Bay Heights make this golf course possible. Everything that you do, including this little fundraiser today, helps to make this one of the premier courses in Central New York.
Those of you that were here last year remember that we walked out on that frightful Saturday and it poured. I mean, it poured rain. Good things happen when bad things happen. And the good thing that happened is we took Bobby around to all the golf holes so he got a look at them in the rain, in the mud. And as we got back here to the 9th green, we asked Bobby to take a walk out here and tell us what you think of this green. So he walked around this very spot. He walked around over in this corner over here and around there, and he came back and he said, unfair. This thing is unfair. So we all knew that for sure. But then suddenly, which was wonderful, he said, you know what? He said, I'm going to redesign this green for no cost in memory of my father. And that's how this whole thing started.
First of all, for me personally and for my son, Robert Trent Jones III, other Robert Trent Jones, it's a great sentimental journey to be here. As I said last year, and those who may remember, I really wasn't that familiar with Sodus Bay except in family lore and family history, but my grandparents grew up in East Rochester, and we visited them in my youth from New Jersey, where I lived. The green has been recrafted by Mike Gorman, who's here of our team, and the contractor, and with the sponsorship of some of your most important and friendly members. And I think that The basic concept of the green was to keep some of its authenticity. It's still it's what we call a mini punch bowl or maybe a saucer. It's receptive, but the ball won't roll off as it used to down toward the lake, toward the Sodus Bay. So basically, it's a wonderful hole, and it should finish well. We believe that those who take the risk should be rewarded, and we hope this green will prove true to that. But the proof's in the pudding. We haven't played it yet, so maybe we should do that. So David, that last putt I was able to do. I think the rest of the members can putt on this green. Can we officially open it?
You and Steve make that call.
Bill.
Mr. Bowling is the president.
Steve, the green is officially open for play today. All I can say is just thank you for your warmth, your friendship, and being among you. And I hope you have many wonderful times, and you make lots of putts on the 9th green.
After the ceremony, Robert Trent Jones Jr. and Sodus Bay members teed off with the new 9th green officially open for play.
Before we go much further, there's one lady that's responsible for this evening, and I say one lady. This is the dynamo of our club who runs the Reserve Cup every year, Donna Lieberschmidt.
I want to thank everybody for coming. This is my 5th year running the event, and every year we grow, we make more money, and I think this year it's going to be another very, very successful night. So without any ado, I'll pass it over to David.
Thank you, Donna. And again, I think Bill did a good job of thanking Donna, but again, everybody in this room who has not seen what she does, how she does not motivate her committee, please, she deserves at least one more round of applause. Donna, thank you. My primary role here is to go through the awards, but there's a couple people I also need to thank. Bill Bowling, our leader, president of the club. It's not always the most fun job, but I'll tell you, you've been quite effective, and we appreciate everything that you've done moving us forward. Robert Trent Jones, if you could swing on up here, we'd love to hear some of your thoughts.
Thank you for being here. It's a very full room. I was here a year ago, and I was so impressed by your spontaneity and your humor, especially your humor, because you laugh at yourselves and me, so that's good. That our son Trent came along with me. So you've got 3 generations of Robert Trent Jones. The one you honor in your Robert Trent Jones room, who was your first pro here, myself, and Robert Trent Jones III. So we are a family, and we are very grateful to you for welcoming our family to your family. Thank you. It's part of your legacy, because without Robert Trent Jones Sr. Meeting my mother, Ione Davis, at Wells College in upstate New York, I wouldn't be here. And so we're very proud to be with you. And thank you, Bill, for having us back. And we look forward to being with you anytime you call.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Jim Jones, his staff, the board of directors, and all the members at Sodus Bay Heights, we're bestowing lifetime memberships to both Robert Jones Jr. and his son Trent. Thank you very much.
Had it not poured rain, how things changed, last year at this time, we would have had a golf tournament, and he would have been swept up with all the golf that's been going on around here. Might have got back to the 9th green and said, "Oh, this is." He'd been tired by that time. And the bottom line is, this green would never have happened, in my opinion, if it hadn't rained and washed us out. Think about that.
For generations to come, golfers from Sodus Bay Heights to around the world will experience and enjoy the brilliance of Robert Trent Jones Jr. While the Jones family legacy continues to spread across the globe, The roots of their legacy will forever reside at Sodus Bay Heights. The new ninth green is just the latest chapter in this truly remarkable story, which will endure forever.